What's up everyone, this is Cyberknight, and today I have a Endymion Pendulum Magician deck profile for you guys. Yeah, I'm still working on the name. I'm not really sure, actually. When you say Pendulum Magicians, you think of the older version of them, which of course included like the different Dimension Dragons, like their magician forms. With this though, this is of course using the brand new structure deck that was just released yesterday, and in some places today, called Order of the Spellcasters. Basically, it's the new version of Endymion, which uses Pendulum Magicians as well as, of course, Spellcounters. So you're using both of these things, you get like a ton of Spellcounters, use that to Pendulum Summon even more, use your effects, and it's pretty crazy, honestly. In a way, they're basically the new Pendulum Magicians. And I gotta admit, they're a lot of fun. But yeah, this is my more competitive build on it, so I hope you guys will enjoy. Be sure to leave a like if you want to see more deck profiles in the future, and let's get to it. Alright, so starting us off, of course, I am running 3 of Endymion, the Mighty Master of Magic. So yes, of course, he is your brand new boss monster for the deck. Really awesome card too. Whether he's on the field as a monster or in the Pendulum Zone, he's very useful. I mean, even in the Pendulum Zone, it's a good scale because it has a Pendulum scale of 8, so it works out great for the deck on that. But also, if you have 6 spell counters, you're able to get rid of them, special summon him from the Pendulum Zone, and then destroy cards in the field. So, just that by itself, I mean, yeah, 6 spell counters, it kind of sounds like a lot at the beginning, but it's nothing for this deck. And also getting a destruction effect from it is really great. And then, of course, when he's actually a monster on your side of the field, then he can even negate spell and trap cards. So, yeah, I mean, seriously, it's a really good boss monster for the deck. Easy to bring out, and like I said, useful whether he's in the Pendulum Zone or a monster on the field. So, definitely a good upgrade for Endymion, and yeah, like I said, just all around awesome card too. So you definitely want to have 3 of them because it's ridiculously easy to bring this card out. Then after that, of course, I am running 3 of Servant of Endymion, as well as 3 of Magister of Endymion. I thought I'd just go ahead and talk about both these together because they kind of have the same idea around them, because both of these, when they're in your Pendulum Zones, you activate a spell card, you get a spell counter. So once you have them set up, you're just gaining spell counters like crazy. And then even with their own effects too, they can help you get more monsters out there and, get searching from that and everything too. So that's what I was saying. They both kind of go together in different ways on that, but once you have them both on the field, you're pretty much all set. I mean, it's funny how many spell counters you gather up just by having those two. And then, of course, I'm also running one of a Reflection of Endymion. Reflection, it kind of has a little bit of a negative to it just because you can only special summon one of them per turn. So you really only need one of them anyway on that. And yeah, it's another level 7. So that works pretty good with Master Endymion because, yeah, you can, of course, C summon with that. Having a couple level 7s, you have so many different options on that anyway. And again, it's another one of those monsters too that can help you gather up your spell counters easily, can help even get rid of one of your opponent's monsters too, just return it to the hand. And yeah, it's just pretty much like the others, but in a different way, where you're still gaining, a ton of spell counters from it, and even get rid of some of your opponent's monsters as well. So, still very useful, and another one that can help you set up to get more of those spell counters and get everything where you need it to be. I'm also running 3 of Magical Abductor. Abductor is a really good card in this deck too because it's another one that can gather up your spell counters. I mean, seriously, this card's another one of those when you have it out there, even, in a monster zone, you can gather up all those spell counters for it and it just gets stronger and stronger. It's a card too that if you're not really paying attention, like you're just gathering up all these spell counters, you realize, oh, okay, it's over 2,000 attack now because of all the spell counters it's absorbed. Also, even in the Pendulum Zone, it's still very useful for you. It has a good scale for it to help you Pendulum Summon, and it can help you search for what you need as well. So it's another one of those that is still like as useful in the Pendulum Zone as it is on the field. And on the field, though, it's a little bit more of a beat stick monster because, like I said, seriously, especially later on in the game when you have everything set up and have all your, just generating all these spell counters, it becomes a really powerful monster from that. And then for basically our other boss monster, I'm also running 2 of Mythical Beast Master Cerberus. Yeah, it's a shame this wasn't part of the structure deck because this card is, well, not too expensive, but it's one that's a little bit tougher to get, and you definitely want to have the Mythical Beasts in this deck too. Basically, it's like I said, it's another boss monster for you because it's easy to bring out. It's another one too that can help you get everything set up. If you especially at the beginning of the duel, you want to go ahead, bring this out in the Pendulum Zone, then use its effect to destroy itself. Then you can get Jackal, which we'll get to here in a little bit, and then get Jackal in the Pendulum Zone, use its effect then to send it to the extra deck because Pendulum monsters, they go to the extra deck instead, and then you get Cerberus on your side of the field. Also, when it gathers up spell counters, it's tough to get rid of. You can even get rid of some of your spell counters then to choose one of your opponent's monsters, banish it, and then gain that attack too. So it's another one that is easy to bring out, will help you set up everything, and then also it's just a monster when it's out there, because being able to just banish one of your opponent's monsters, gain that attack from it, is a card that can just run over your opponent. And obviously, to go along with that, I am running 3 Mythical Beasts Jackal King. Jackal King has been reprinted, a lot easier to get now too, so don't worry. Not as expensive as it was, because it's probably the most expensive card for this deck for a while. Anyway, though, yeah, this is another one, like I said, with Cerberus. It goes together with it so well, because you want to use Cerberus, destroy itself, because you want it to be the only monster in your Pendulum Zone, by the way. You don't want one in the other Pendulum Zone. That's why I'm saying, at the beginning of the duel, it's way more useful, because you don't want one in the other Pendulum Zone. Anyway, then after you get rid of Cerberus, search for that Jackal, use Jackal's effect, get Cerberus out again, and so it helps set up for that. Also, it's still a strong monster, and one that can counter your opponent's monster effects, too. Get rid of a couple of spell counters, negate a monster effect. And then, of course, to go along with that, I am also running one, Mythical Beast Garuda. Garuda is another one of those you really only need one of, because first off, it can help you get rid of like spells and traps and stuff too with its first effect, with its pendulum effect, I should say. But also what I like about it is that when it's in your hand and your opponent special summons a monster, then you can get rid of a few of your spell counters, special summon Garuda, and then return that monster to your opponent's hand. So it's another card that can help kind of disrupt your opponent as well, and you only really need one of them, too. They're easy to get to the hand and everything, and yeah, I just like how it can mess with your opponent, basically. So it's great to have for that reason. And then, of course, last but not least, 3 of Ash Blossom. A lot easier to get nowadays, and yeah, you want to have some hand traps to negate some stuff that your opponent's going to do. Alright, now moving on to our spell cards, I am running 3 of Spell Power Mastery. This card's basically a searcher for your Endymion cards, because with it you're able to add an Endymion card from your deck to your hand. So having that searching effect is really great for you, obviously. But also, too, it's another way to get more spell counters out there, because it will give you a few spell counters from it, and then as the game goes on and there's more of them in your graveyard, you get even more from it as well. So just being a searcher that can also give you spell counters is great in this deck, because that way you can get whatever card you need, and you're just building up those spell counters even more and more. Then, of course, 2 of Magical Citadel of Endymion. This is another really good card for this, because it's just like your field spell that's sitting over there almost as like a storage box. Because while it's over there, it's just gaining spell counters the whole time. And it's a way you can get the spell counters from it to activate your effects and everything. It's just basically like a little storage for spell counters, the best way to put it, really. So you want to have these, you want to get them on your field as quickly as possible, and just build up those spell counters from it. And to get it even easier too, I am running 2 of Terraforming, just so we can, get that card as quickly as possible, because you want to have a Citadel of Endymion on your field, like I said, basically first turn, if you can, so that way you can start building up. Then 1 of Upstart Goblin, helps you draw, and then with a lot of these cards too, when you activate a spell, you get a spell counter. So with this, you're able to draw a card, you give your opponent some life points, so what? You're also getting spell counters from that. So it's great to have for that reason. Then, of course, 3 of Pot of Desires. Yeah, the card that some people love and some people hate, of course. It was reprinted in the new structure deck, so it's much easier to get now if you didn't already have these. And basically with this deck too, you need some draw power. And of course, being a spell card too, you can also get spell counters from it. And pretty much since we're running basically like a playset of almost every card in this deck, it's not a problem for you. So you don't mind banishing 10 cards and then drawing 2 from it, because it can really set you ahead and get you the cards you need and just get everything set up for you. So Desires works really well in this deck. Then after that, 2 Called by the Grave, because hand traps can always be fun to deal with. 3 of Mythical Bestiary. Basically, another way to get spell counters, best way to put it. I mean, it's just one of those where you just get more spell counters out there and then just keep going from that. And then, of course, 2 of Mythical Institution. This card's another one that can help you gather up spell counters. I mean, you want to have this as well as Citadel, and then from the spell counters from it too, it gives you a searching effect. So you get rid of a few of those, then you're getting a monster from your deck, add it to your hand, and then that can help you get whatever pendulum monster you need, help you set up the scale, or just help you get a monster that you can summon easily. I mean, it's just a great searcher for that reason. So especially when you have that and Citadel out there and you're just building up spell counters, especially at the beginning and everything too, it is just easy to just get whatever card you need after that. So you definitely want to have a couple of Institution, like I said, to just build up off that and just search for whatever pendulum that you're going to need in that situation. And now it's time to move on to the extra deck. So first off, since we have, a lot of level 7s, we can go for rank 7s. I am running 1 of Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon. Still a really good XC monster to use, and because we're actually using Absolute Dragon, I am also running 1 of Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon. Because if you don't know, when Absolute is destroyed, you can get an Odd Eyes monster from your extra deck and special summon it. So that's how I'm bringing out Vortex Dragon. That's the reason, of course I'm not using like Odd Eyes Fusion or anything. Doesn't matter, because Absolute can go into Vortex, in case people are wondering on that. And Vortex is a good option too, because you're able to, get rid of one of your opponent's monsters from it, and it's still a strong monster as well. So both of these work really well together because, again, bringing in a rank 7 is not a problem at all, especially for a deck that involves pendulums and everything too. I feel like they're a must-have for both of these. Then, of course, for like our other like generic ones, I should say, have number 11 Big Eye, because taking one of your opponent's monsters is always fun. Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, always fun to deal with as well, really annoying for your opponent. Number 39 Utopia Beyond, this is a good rank 6 because of Jackal King, and yeah, I mean, it's another one that's easy to bring out, because Jackal King's easy to bring out too, and it's a good option to have on the side there. Then to move on to our Link monsters, which obviously we have a few. I am running 2 of Daybreaker, the Shining Magical Warrior. Basically, it's the new Breaker the Magical Warrior. Sort of. It's a little different, of course, too. Easy to bring out, has good link markers for it, too. So it helps you open up the field for more pendulum summoning and everything, so you can get more from your extra deck and all that. And, yeah, build up spell counters from it. And like I said, kind of has the Breaker sort of effect, but a little bit more of an upgrade to it as well. So I really like this card for that reason. And again, it's one of our new ones from the Structure Deck, obviously. So definitely comes in handy. Then, obviously, we got to have one of Heavy Metal Foe's Electromite. I wish this card was at 3 again, right? I mean, this deck would be insane. Probably be a little too strong if it was at 3, but yeah. This card is amazing. Anything that runs pendulums, you need this. I mean, that's plain and simple. Helps you get whatever you need. It's set up for more pendulum summoning, so yeah, this card, like I said, plain and simple. If your deck uses pendulum monsters, you want to have Electromite. It's just, yeah, it's that amazing. Then one of Zephyra Metaltron. Another good card that goes for things that are pendulum summoning and really easy to bring out. And this card, again, is another one of those Link monsters. It's just a beast. Once you get it out there and everything, too, it is amazing to have. So you definitely want to have one of those as well. And then, of course, I'm using basically a bunch of the Nightmare cards to go along with this. So Nightmare Phoenix, Nightmare Cerberus, and then Nightmare Unicorn. These are just always good options to have. Hopefully they get reprinted soon. That way they're even easier to get. But yeah, I mean, just about anything that involves Link monsters, Nightmares are great to have as an option. Then one of Decode Talker. I just kind of wanted a generic Link monster that was easy to bring out that could do some damage. Decode Talker, still pretty useful these days, so I thought I would throw one in. Because we pretty much have everything we need already. Has some extra space. Decode Talker is still a good option. Then, of course, one of Borload Dragon, using my altar art, because it looks awesome. But yeah, Borload, still one of the strongest, and to go along with that, one of Boral Sword Dragon. Boral Sword, like I've said several times, is getting reprinted this summer, so hopefully it'll be much easier to get. But basically, from what I'm saying on this, you need Electromite, and you need at least one of Daybreaker. Everything else can be, and also Zephyr Metaltron. That's another one you pretty much absolutely need. But other than that, you can use whatever Link monsters you have. I mean, I'm using a bunch of different generic ones that I have that are powerful. So, yeah, you can kind of go with whatever you want from that. And yep, there you have it. That is my Order of Spellcasters Endymion deck profile for you guys. Again, working on the name, but I hope you guys have enjoyed. Again, the deck is a ton of fun to use. Don't be too intimidated by like the paragraph of text that each one of these cards have. Those pendulums, yeah, they look insane by that kind of text, but really, they're pretty easy to use. So let me know what you guys think about these brand new pendulum monsters, if you're going to try to build something around them or not. And yeah, as always, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to leave a like, helps out as always. Subscribe and ring that bell so you don't miss out on future content. And of course I will. Catch you guys later. See ya.